Oh, yeah, guys and girls, welcome back to another video of mine on my YouTube channel for Anthony Kenneth Bishop. Now, this video I'm doing, don't worry, it's not a gaming video, even though I've got video game I'm playing at the moment at the same time as I'm doing this sort of video on Eastenders. I'm a bit of a gamer as well. I was watching soaps and stuff with my mum at the same time. And yeah, it's pretty cool. So this is for actually this was for Friday the 22nd of December 2017. So that would have been Friday the 22nd, and I think it started at 8 o'clock yesterday, Eastenders, if I remember rightly, 7:30, 8 o'clock. Anyway, let's get to the cracking bit on here. Right, so I was watching the start of it yesterday and it continued. I wasn't going to do a video on the carry on of Max Brannan, but it's getting interesting. It's kind of, the climaxes started slowing down a little bit, and if you hear any clattering like this, that means I'm actually drinking some hot chocolate at the moment and just pouring it in. I'm actually recording all this on my PC at the moment with my GTX 1070 and doing all this, like, not streaming as such, but I'm also playing the Shadow of Mordor at the moment, which is actually the game version of the Lord of the Rings. So it's pretty cool actually. If you guys and girls like the Lord of the Rings, I kind of do. I like the Hobbit as well, and that's just fantastic. In this game, it's a first-person shoot 'em up, well, not first-person shoot 'em, but basic sort of combat system thing to it. Once you get killed by one of the enemy teams, they get harder. Anyway, right. So moving on with Eastenders, for the 22nd of December 2017. It started off where Lauren was basically confronting her dad, trying to stop him from trying to kill Ian with the strangulation of the with the Christmas lights, and at that point she was talking him down, saying, "Oh, it's not worth it," and all that kind of stuff, and that he's going to get in trouble and go to prison, and is it worth it, and he should be doing it for her and all that, and she still loves him and all that kind of stuff, like daughters do and stuff. Basically, Lauren is the daughter of Max Brannan, and this is actually part 2 of Max Brannan's revenge. Now it's getting good actually, it's slowly building up, but to be honest it wasn't really much in it yesterday for the Friday. Usually it's on Mondays. I don't think it's on, actually it's on Tuesdays, not Wednesdays though. But Thursdays and Fridays most definitely usually, and it's usually good. But as it's Christmas time now, it's come up to that point now of Christmas and all that, and everyone's like literally watching all these Christmas specials, and New Year's will be around the corner as well, a couple of days after Christmas, about a week, just over a week maybe. What are we today? We're the 23rd today, so for the 23rd, which is Saturday, because I've got to do some more Christmas shopping today. Actually, I noticed that my first Max Brannan video literally is blown up almost within the last 24 hours of me uploading it, so that's cool. I want to thank you guys and girls for watching the first part. It's only just me blabbing on and all that, but it's good because I love the soap. I actually love Max Brannan, and I can see where he's coming from, why he wants this revenge in the first place. It's because all the people done him wrong, and God, let the man have his revenge. Apparently there was some talks that he was going to kill Max was going to kill Ian, Actually, I would love to see it. That if they actually did get rid of Ian Beale out of the way and they actually killed him, that would, but I don't know, it would be quite an interesting storyline. But the really intriguing episode yesterday. Now, Lauren was chasing after her dad. Basically, he left Ian afterwards. He stopped strangling him with the Christmas lights, which was absolutely funny as hell. I mean, for a scene, that was like, I was actually nearly pissing my pants. I've actually put that on my Instagram as well. So you guys and girls can check it out. It's in the bio section of my YouTube channel. That scene on my Instagram. And to be honest, yeah, it's just absolutely flipping hilarious scene. To be honest, I think I suppose in a way they have a lot of fun on there and stuff, so on set, so they can literally, yeah, they can have fun. So as I was getting to it, yeah, basically Max left afterwards, stopped strangling Ian and stuff with the Christmas decorations, and it was up to that point where I don't think he had compassion for Ian. It was more like his daughter caught him in time, otherwise he would have killed him. And if he didn't have if he would have killed him, then yes, he would have gone to probably prison, or they would have done it where he was on the run. That would be actually interesting if he went on the run and then did like a sort of, but I know that Ian's, not Ian, but Phil's got like a sort of a big sort of job coming up, and it's to that point where it's going to be interesting to see what how the storyline is, because I don't know whether they're going to be doing a bank job, if it's going to be like a sort of a bank robbery in the show, or if there's something bigger going on. Basically, if you guys and girls don't know what Eastenders is, it's in the East End. It's a TV soap series, a bit like Home and Away, the Australian version, Australia and all that. But it's not an Australian program, and it's a bit like Carnation Street. Carnation Street's been on since like the 1950s or something like that. So it's old TV soaps and all that. But they have a lot of like characteristics in the characters. Some of them are psychotic. You got other people, blokes sleeping around with women and stuff, and then you got women sleeping, having affairs with other blokes behind their wives' backs. And then basically, anyway, Max Brannan, he had an affair back in 2007 with Stacy. Now it's very interesting, this episode yesterday, for the 22nd of December 2017. Now, Lauren started chasing her dad, tried to stop him because he was going to go over to Phil and all that, and he was going to kill him and stuff, and basically ran over, and Lauren managed to capture up to Stacy Fowler. She's married actually to Martin Fowler, and Martin Fowler's one of the Fowler families. Then you've got, I think his mum was, actually his brother is Mark Fowler. They did some scenes in that series where I think Mark Fowler got like AIDS and he died from AIDS or something. Like, I think it was just a normal sort of disease that he caught. Then there was some controversial scenes in that and stuff, but then actually beforehand, Mark Fowler used to go out with this like Scottish girl and stuff. The Scottish woman, they fell in love, and I think she fell in love with this Beppe, who used to own this restaurant. I think that's the same sort of same storyline. Anyway, I haven't watched the old episodes for many years, but they used to bring a lot of characters in it. They've got too many characters now in the show, not in the show, but too many old characters that they need to really bring back. It'd be quite interesting. I know they killed off Peggy and stuff, Barbara Windsor's character and all that. That's a shame really, but what can you do? Anyway, getting to the Max Brannan's revenge segment. So basically, in the limelight of it, he went over, he was going to go and kill Phil. Basically, Ian from yesterday's episode, or the day before actually I should say, which would have been the 21st of December, so that would have been on Thursday. Well, Ian told basically that to Max that it was Phil Mitchell, who's actually at the moment getting ready to team up with Aiden, his best long friend, who he actually was in prison with. So some bloke from Scotland, I think, or was no, actually from Ireland. So he's an Irish bloke, and basically they were in prison together, friends or something, best pals, and they used to help each other out. So Phil now is teaming up this bloke. This bloke's turned up on his door, wants him to do a job, but he needs quite a few people to team up with him. So he's got, I think it was his name, Vince, who's played by, I think it was his name, Richard Blackwood. He used to do a lot of the TV presenting back in the days. I actually didn't realise until I actually found out in EastEnders that the one who plays Aidan Maguire is actually the Hollywood film actor Patrick Bergen. He's actually played in quite a few films, played in films with Julia Roberts and all that. Fantastic actor, to be honest. He's also played in Patriot Games with Harrison Ford. And then we've got like Mick Carter, whose character, right, basically he's actually played by Danny Dyer. A lot of people know Danny Dyer for doing all these London nasty sort of films. He played, I think it was a film called Hitman or something, where he plays a hitman and stuff, going around doing jobs for like the London mafia and all that kind of stuff for the big bosses. But they got some good lines up. So it's going to be Mick Carter, you're going to have Aidan Maguire, he's going to be teaming up with Phil. He's an oldish guy now, to be honest, Aidan or Patrick Bergen. And he's got to a stage now that they want to do a sort of like a big story, so, and they're not going to get paid until after the job, and they said it'd be in towards the new year, but they've got to do this big massive job first. And he went to Mick Carter's Queen Vic, which is the most sort of like, it's a Victorian, Queen Victoria sort of pub, they call it. It's got the Queen Victoria on the front, a little picture of her and all that on the front. And he goes, oh, it's his lady and all that. Anyway, so yeah, it's getting good now, like slowly starting to transcend a little bit further and a bit deeper into the stories. It's going to get really complicated soon as well, because I've just noticed that Max Branning, well, back in 2007, let's just say back in 2007, he actually had an affair with Stacy. Now, Stacy used to be married to Max's son until Max actually, Max's son actually died, and it was after the tape which was revealed, I think it was like New Year's Day or Christmas Day or something. They usually keep these sort of big storylines for like either Christmas or New Year's. Anyway, it was in 2007, and a tape, I think, which Abby, his daughter, Max's daughter, Max Brannan's other daughter, yes, he's got two other daughters, plus he's got a son as well, in a newborn baby son, which was actually only a few years, actually it's been a few years now, his son, Oscar. His brother, actually no, his wife's or ex-wife came into it a few years gone back. Anyway, the child, Oscar, who's his son, and his ex-wife is the mother to, is the mother of his child, basically stopped him from seeing his kid. seeing his little baby, Oscar. So now he's on the tipping point of Edge. Basically, his ex-wife buried him alive in one of the episodes. This is many years. I'm not too sure which one it was actually. Where is it? Let's have a look at the storyline. Max Brannan buried alive. Yeah, his wife Tanya, who's the mother of Oscar, and she buried him alive. Sort of a revenge to try and get back at him. There was I think there's a 2-part one on YouTube, I believe, or the BBC page. And she wanted to get at him due to him having an affair. Behind her back was Stacy. This was back in 2007, like I said. Now coming to 2018, so $11 years in the making. So 11 years in the making since his affair, or coming up to 11 years in 2018. And now 11 years into the storyline, it's going to carry on. His son found out and got in a bit of a rage about it. And at that point, I think he punched his dad as well. Actually, he punched him one. And went off in a strop or something and left. He was actually pissed off mostly with Stacy for actually going behind his back and basically shagging his dad and all that. That's pretty much putting it basic. I mean, anyone would be like that, to be honest, if you think about it. But I mean, say if I literally just found out, so I found out my dad literally was going around shagging like my wife if I was ever married and my dad was alive at the time and he was doing that shit, I probably would have killed him too. But yeah, anyway, he literally was in a rage, his son, went on like sort of a bender. Now his son actually got killed, I think this is, well actually, yeah, got killed in a freak accident, pretty much drunk and all that, so it was his own doing. But I think it was mostly his dad pushing him over that edge, the tipping point. And when his son, well, when his dad put him over the tipping point, yeah, it just literally expanded from there, really, the scenes. But I don't know what you guys and girls think about the Max Brannan new sort of like dialogue, the new storyline. Do you think it's going to be good? But anyway, to the point with Stacy. Now, in yesterday's episode, she kind of felt sorry for him, so she brought him back to Martin's house. In the show, in the series, she brought him back to the house, and after Ian basically hit him over the head with a frying pan and injured him, and he actually had a sort of like a bruise or cut, and he was bleeding on his head. Yeah, it was like she brought him back to the house to try and help him see to his wounds, and she was making sure the blood stopped and all of that. And they kind of got quite close to each other. I would say too flipping close. Now, I think maybe because of him wanting revenge on Ian, but not just Ian, Phil as well, I think Stacy's fallen for him again, because when she had an affair with him, it, I suppose in a way, it like literally fueled the fire, and it brought the tension between them again. And I was watching yesterday's episode, and I'll tell you what, you could cut the tension with a knife yesterday, and that's literally tension. Alright, there we go. So yeah, the tension between them is getting really saucy, and I think, yeah, she's definitely going to be doing it. But then again, she's got to worry about what Martin Fowler is going to do if she actually goes through with it and actually has that affair with him. Because the secrets never stay dead. Let's just say that. It always seems to resurface in the end, and especially in the soap world and all that. If you like these sort of soaps. But yeah, if you guys and girls like EastEnders, if you watch it at all, I'm trying to do like sort of video casts on it, like long videos, and I'm trying to do longer episodes, trying to vary the details in there, trying to do a little bit of background story of his revenge plot. Now, I think the reason he wanted the revenge in the first place was because, I suppose in a way, to get revenge on Bradley's death. And well, then again, to be honest, he shouldn't have had that affair with Stacy in the first place. And also, they did put him to prison for the murder of Lucy and all that. So that kind of literally pissed him off even more. And then his family turned on him, wouldn't come to the prison to see him. His brother Jack literally like fucked him over as well. But then again, he fucked his brother over, Jack, as well, by stopping him from seeing his son. Because old Charlie came into it. Oh, Nick Cotton's son, basically. Charlie Cotton. Who's actually, Charlie Cotton is the grandson of Doc Cotton. And Nick Cotton, who's actually played by John Oatman, who's actually doing a show in Western at the moment, doing Aladdin. Well, his character got killed off, I think it was like last year in 2016, due to his mum Doc Cotton, who killed him by giving him a drug overdose, and said basically it was in God's hands, because she was Doc Cotton's basically a religious woman, and she goes by the religious sort of like Bible pretty much. And Doc Cotton used to basically work in the laundrette in EastEnders, until she started going blind in the eyes, and she became like frightened of like getting her eyes done, and that was kind of like doing more drama on her. Now, Doc Cotton is basically married to, well, was married to Jim Brannan, who's actually the grandfather of, oh, 2 seconds, is the grandfather, Jim Brannan is actually the grandfather, actually no, actually not grandfather actually, is Max's dad, I believe it is. And I believe it is his dad or granddad or something. Anyway, you got Nick Cotton. Doc actually married Jim, I think, a few years ago back, many years ago back. But the real character, the real Jim Brannan, or that's not his real name, but that's Jim Brannan is actually the character. But the guy who plays Jim, he actually died a few years ago back. And Doc Cotton, who plays June Brown, she's basically, well, she's in her 90s and she's still doing EastEnders at the moment. So fair dues to her. Trying to make a few more bob and all that. And she's, yeah, I think it's like 91 or something. So she's doing absolutely well. Anyway, so the tension between between Stacy and Max is getting on a high at the moment. So that's pretty cool. And wait until the tension builds up and he literally ends up like bedding her again and all of that. That is going to be the massive climax right there. Once that happens, then who knows where this actually storyline could go down. And also, will he actually end up trying to kill Phil? Because Max wants revenge so badly, so freaking bad, that he can taste it. Anyway, there was this one scene yesterday where he knocked on Phil's door, and Stacy basically told him to come back to hers while Martin was out, and she said she would like help him out for a while. And I'll tell you what, I've never seen her. They look like two lonely people, literally waiting for each other So I can't wait to see what happens. And will he actually be able to manipulate Stacy to do his bidding for him by actually getting rid of Ian? Now there could be a little twist in it. This could be like a sort of a murder plot where they end up teaming up together to kill Ian and Phil, to get revenge for everything that has been like wrong. Actually, that would be quite a bit of a twist. I mean, you wouldn't see it coming, because then I wouldn't be able to see it coming. But to be honest, if I was the director, I would be thinking to myself, is it not? I don't know what you guys and girls think. Do you think there should be a storyline where Stacy, because to be honest, with her condition as well, it could get worse. And she was pregnant not long ago. I think she's supposed to be like giving birth to a child or something, another baby or second baby. And because of her medication at the time and all of that, she wasn't supposed to. She wasn't supposed to have children because it would affect her medication. She's actually got, apparently in the show, she's got bipolar, so they've been doing that sort of like, where she's got that mental disorder or mental illness. Anyway, they did like some controversial sort of like scenes with her, actually, with her bipolar, where she tried to not kill her son or anything, or her baby, but she started, oh no, actually I think it was she's got a baby called Oscar as well, I believe it is, and they did some scenes with little baby. Oh no, actually no, it was it Oscar? I think it was, anyway, because I think they called it Oscar, or but yeah, she did a controversial scene where she literally went on the tether end, and she thought that it was baby Jesus, and that she was going to give her baby to God and all that, and God was coming for baby Jesus. They literally did the whole sort of the segment of her going crazy, until like Martin basically was looking after her, and then he had to put her into hospital due to her bipolar. So maybe they could do it where it resurfaces. But her mum, before, her mum actually had bipolar, and she passed it on to Stacy at the point of that time when she gave birth to her, because she didn't know whether it would affect her or not with her daughter Stacy and all of that. And this, her mum, actually Stacy's mum's called Jean as well, so you can check that up for the sort of like the Wikipedia or the fandom, Eastenders fandom. But yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, I kind of like the TV soaps. I like the drama in it, but I don't know why. I think it's getting more Hollywood now. in fact, with the scenes. It's getting more action in it, it's getting explosives into the shows. But I'm loving, I hope at some point that Max Branning ends up doing Ian doing him a favour. I mean, obviously everyone likes Ian, but if the scenes got to the point where they had to kill one of the characters off, it would have to be like Ian, because he's like a little squirm. He always cries like a little baby, so they have to kill him off. Apparently he's a coward in it, like he's always scared of Phil, and Phil's basically his stepdad, I think it is, to Kathy, and Kathy was the one who got actually raped by Wilmot Brown, like I was saying in the last episode of Max Branning's Revenge. This is Max Branning's Revenge Part 2, but I will be doing a lot more on the entire sort of like scenes as they hit the shows, because the thing is, I'm not going to be doing like the entire sort of episodes of EastEnders, just some of the interesting topics of how it's all getting, like the interesting storylines. So me doing the entire sort of trilogy, or the Max Branning sort of anthology of the series of up to this point, is just going to be fantastic. As long as you guys and girls keep watching, I'll keep making them and stuff. I'll keep doing all the videos, I'll keep pumping them all out for you. Not literally like that though. I'm definitely not Max Branning, even though I've got ginger hair. But I actually would love, I don't know if what you guys and girls think, but you know when he killed Lucy in the series, right? Obviously we found out, actually he didn't kill Lucy, but he went to prison for Lucy's murder, when they all found out it was actually Bobby and all that who done all the killings, and then tried to bash Phil Mitchell over the head. I think it was with sort of like a golf club or something, because he was trying to confront him, and Jane actually covered up all the tracks, and basically Max Branning went to prison due to the fact that he was set up, and now Max Branning's on a warpath. He teamed up with this mafia bloke who was trying to build up big buildings around the entire square, so he can actually make a profit off them by selling them for a big lot of money, and then he can move in a lot of the expensive like billionaires into the area, basically to make a lot of money and build up his empire. So but I don't know what you guys and girls think of this. I would love to see the point when he was in prison. I would love the BBC to make a sort of like a 6-part mini-series, a bit like Redwater with Cat and Elfie, because Redwater, if you guys and girls don't know what Redwater is actually a TV series which was actually a spin-off of EastEnders, and it was with 2 characters. It was Elfie Moon and Cat Moon, and Cat is actually one of the Slater sisters, and she found out that her one sister, who was actually Zoe Slater, many years going back, wasn't actually her sister at all. She was her daughter, so Zoe was her daughter, and Dirty then ended up getting her pregnant, I believe it was, getting Cat's daughter pregnant, because Dennis, who's supposed to have been Dirty Den's son, Dennis, who's actually went out with his sister. Yeah, he actually bedded his sister, his real proper blood sister, and they had a child together in the series. So yeah, there's a lot, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of drama throughout the years, and it's very good. Some of the stuff, like, really intriguing to listen to some of the storylines, and how the directors and writers came up with the dialogues is beyond me. But I would love it to see that Max Branning does a sort of a 6-part mini-series on that as well, because like what happened to him when he was in prison, a sort of like an anthology of 6 series or 6 episodes into a chronicalizing Max Brennan and how he got depressed and all that, and what made him on a warpath and all that. But yeah, that'd be quite interesting. I'd love to see it. I don't know what you guys and girls think. If you watch Eastenders yourself, let us know in the comments below as well. But yeah, Redwater, like I was going to say, Redwater is actually Cat and Alfie Moon's sort of mini-series. I think it was like 6 episodes at the time. Apparently they got killed off in the end, or near the end. Alfie Moon, basically, he had a brain tumour in it, and he was on his way out, and they did like an episode in the last episode, episode 6 of Redwater, of series 1, where he was dying on the operating table. And then Cat actually was trying to, basically Redwaters, they went to Ireland to try and find their son, but they found out their son was actually, or actually Cat's son. They had twins, she had twins or something, like Cat had twins, and so she had 2 other like kids as well, besides Zoe. And they went on to try and find out. She thought she had like the one other child, but then she found out that she had twins. So she went in search of her other twin, her twin son, and found out that he's actually a vicar. Anyway, there was like a sort of controversial stuff in it where she found that the vicar, who was her son, was actually a killer. So he ended up killing this bloke who's supposed to have been his father, who's been looking after him and all that. So it was interesting to see the series take a sort of like, I wouldn't say it was a dive, but it was a fantastic sort of roller coaster ride into the series. But Redwater, if you guys haven't seen it, do check it out. I don't know if it used to be on the BBC player, but they haven't got it on there. Anyway, in the last episode as well, Cat actually got killed off. But there's been talks that Cat and Alfie are literally coming back into Eastenders, so I don't know how they're going to bring them back from the dead. Because Alfie died on the operating table, and Cat was basically in the boat with her son. The boat flipped over, and literally the blade underneath the boat literally caught her arm or something and sliced her up. But you didn't actually see her get sliced up. So it's more like, I don't know what they're going to do with the series, but whether she made it or not, it was like supposed to be a continuation on it at some point. But I don't know. It's gonna, if they make a continuation into it, like another mini series of it, that would be awesome. But let us know in the comments below, guys and girls. I'm gonna finish off this episode here of Max's Revenge. I hope actually the series gets more action, but I don't think it was really that intriguing tonight, even though they had like a fair bit into the show. But yeah, I think they need a little bit. I think they're trying to slow it down a little bit so they can actually speed up the roller coaster a little bit later on. But yeah, this has been absolutely awesome. Anyway, cheers all for watching, guys and girls, and if you enjoyed the video, do like, favourite, share, comment, subscribe. Cheers all for watching, stay safe, and it's been the 23rd of December, it's Saturday, and I'm just going to keep you updated with the series, the show, and everything in between. So yeah, you all stay safe, have a happy Christmas, and see you soon.